Hey, Canyon Cover here. Hey, welcome back, guys. I got a comment on my comment section saying that they wanted to see um, my custom quarter-inch bit socket set, and well, I decided to show you guys. This one, I didn't design the box itself, but I modified it. Well, basically designed the inside of it to carry what I wanted uh, because I basically found that the other kits have a lot of stuff missing, or not missing, but like a lot of the tools included on some of the sets are not very useful for what I want it for. It might not be useful, or it might be useful to you, but to me it wasn't that good. So I decided to just make my own since I own a 3D printer. But uh, basically, the box that I end up choosing, and I'll put the name of the person who made this box, but it is patternmetric. So when you input it into let's say Fusion 360, which is the program that I use, you can input the numbers in there and basically make it wider, taller, deeper, whatever it is that you want to do with the box, right? So this particular one, the person that made it so you can make it you can change the sizes, the physical sizes, not the depth, but the physical size. So I changed um, I changed the length, or the length, the width, and the height to suit what I wanted. So what I wanted was basically mid-length sockets, right? So the box itself, as you can see on here, it's a very wide, or very the lengthwise is pretty big, and wide the width is also pretty nice. Depth. Unfortunately, you cannot really control depth on this box, but I made a few uh, examples of this at different sizes, so I could get what I wanted inside of here without having to um, redesign the whole box. So what did I want? I basically wanted a modular setup where you can put regular sockets in, regular quarter-inch sockets, and mid-length sockets, right? So right now I wanted mid-length, and so I went ahead and decided to make it for mid-length. But you can also put regular uh, short sockets in here. And I wanted a full set from all the way to 4, which is this one, to 15. Right, and this socket set right here, I forget the name of the company, but I'll put it up there. It's just a generic Taiwan company, but if you look at it closely, it resembles Gear Wrench, and I believe this is I think it's Apex Tool Group that makes these, but of course mid length. It is I want to say slightly shorter than a full length quarter-inch. I don't think I have a quarter-inch socket right now, or a short socket at the moment I can show you, but as you can see, they're pretty tall, so they're basically almost full length, but not quite full. But the reason I wanted mid length is because this is the most versatile socket you can have. And since this type of kits can only have a certain amount of tools in it, otherwise it won't be as useful. Let's say as a full toolkit, like a full service set or something like that. You wanna make sure that you have the most advantages possible to you. So that's why I chose mid length, and that's why I chose a full set. Now, like I was saying, when you design these things, you basically want to make sure that everything fits decently in there, and that you can basically grab it, right? Because otherwise, if everything's just like packed in there, you won't be able to grab stuff, right? So right now, this is just a prototype. because I have to change stuff. I have to change the layout a little bit because, like I was saying, when you design it on, let's say, on the CAD program, uh, you can only look at the design from an aesthetic point. You can't look at it as a functional point until you basically print it out. But some CAD programs do have a like a design thing where you can like check functionality and stuff. Like you can check like this hinge, movement, all that good stuff, right? But for like picking up stuff, it's kind of kind of hard to actually do in the program. But like I was saying, I just literally just printed this out and started testing, the movement of the sockets to make sure I could grab them. Some of them are tight, some of them are not, right? So you have to basically test them out and change those sizes on the design so you can basically grab them without any issue, right? And this is I want the goal with this kit is I didn't want to make it specific to a certain socket set, a certain bit, a certain ratchet, and a certain driver. I wanted to basically make it so that any that I can print this with the majority of their sockets, and they can just put it in there and go. I didn't want a specific kit, and that's one of the drawbacks you get when you buy a certain kit. So say like the Harbor Freight kit or the what's it called, the Craftsman B series, or the Wear a Tool Check, or whatever kit you have. It's basically you're basically stuck with those tools unless you have a certain way to like modify it, which I modify my own Craftsman B, because I printed out a nice little slot for my for a different ratchet. Excuse me. But this is more customizable. Another thing I wanted was I didn't want to have a large amount of extensions in the kit, because a lot of times you don't. Well, at least me, I don't use longer extensions. So all I have is this little small one in there, and it just fits perfectly in here. And then the swivel, I have this type of swivel from, I think this one's from Olsa Tools, right? Is that what it says? Yeah. Come on. Yeah, Olsa Tools. Yeah, there we go. Olsa Tools. But yeah, I like this one's better because, like, I don't know, it's just not. They don't go as floppy as the other ones. But overall, I wanted the modularity of the kit. So for the actual portion for the ratchet, the bit driver, and the other stuff that I want to put in here, I left it basically open. So just in case that, let's say, I find a different ratchet that I like, right? So a lot of those kits that that you buy, basically you're stuck with the ratchet, or you're stuck with the whatever that comes in there, right? So for me, for this type of kits, I don't like the little teeny weeny ratchets you get to drive like these tools, right? Because if you're gonna put a 15 mil, you need some power behind that, right? You just don't want to just use whatever teeny weeny ratchet. So I put a full size Tekton in here, flex head, 70 tooth, and this one's pretty nice, right? But like I was saying, I don't want to just like commit to this ratchet, right? Why? Because you can have let's say you buy an Icon comes out with a lock and flex shorter ratchet in the future that's locking, right? I'm much rather prefer that than this, right? Because I don't I'm not a big fan of flex heads that don't have locking don't have a locking flex kit. So I want to make sure I wanted to make sure that I could upgrade the kit without having to print a whole bottom again, or having to finagle with it, or having to change the design of it. It can just literally grab another one, you know, put it in. It's that simple, right? Same deal with the driver. A lot of times, you drivers are basically a preference thing. I want to say they're not typically um, a whatever whatever I grab. I like certain drivers. I like certain styles, and I wanted to put the one that I wanted in here, and also leave it just so I can like the ratchet. I can upgrade the kit if I wanted to, but I don't really need to because I made it for specifically this Annex quick ball driver. It's a ratchet driver, 7 tooth, made in Japan, and it's one of the I want to say one of the best ratchet drivers you can buy. It's very smooth, and this one is a nice color. You gotta have your nice colors. But what's special about this driver is that it doesn't have a detent, or it doesn't have a specific Japanese collar design. It's friction fit, so it can take any bit holder that you want, or any large blade. It doesn't matter if it's Japanese, USA, German. It doesn't matter. It can take it. This is a USA one, Baco, and it just goes in. Like, this friction fit, goes in, doesn't fall out, and it's just, I mean, it's perfect for what it is. And that's why I put this one in. And this is actually a very good alternative to the Klein, the new ball driver. If you can't get the Klein, I highly recommend this Annex, which I'll leave the part number right there, which is 397L1. Well, this one's a special edition one, but you can get this one as well. But yeah, highly recommend it. I love the friction collet it has. It works with pretty much every blade I tried. It works with it, right? But of course, you can't put a small bit in there, because you're never gonna get it out. I will give that to the Klein, that it can just come out. But this one is a friction fit, so you don't want to put whatever small bit in there. But like I was saying, it's pretty much just put it in here, and then I included this little I forgot what these are called. Socket, or little thumb wheel in here, because a lot of times when I'm ratcheting stuff, I can't grab, if I'm oily or whatever, I can't grab the socket. Come on. There we go. Sorry, I was clicking the quick release without realizing this is not a quick release thumb wheel. But with this, you can literally, turn it with your own hand. If you're like super oily, and a lot of these tools become super slick, so you can't like grab it. But that's what I got it for, and that's what I wanted to put it in here. But on the, let's say, the bit stuff, right? So this is, like I said, it was a prototype, still not finished. Reason being is, when you make stuff like this, you gotta test it, right? Because you don't want to release this. I don't want to release this in, let's say, a website, and then without testing, right? So as you can see, I put 30 slots for 1/4 inch bits. Unfortunately, they're too close together. They're too close together, not the right size, so you can't grab them. And by testing, I print out the section, just this section, to test, and that's how I figure out I couldn't take them out, right? Because they're too close together, so I couldn't take them out. So the second design will just be 20 instead of 30, and I'll leave a space in between. That way I can actually grab them without any issues. I'm moving from friction fit because I figured my printer is not very consistent when it comes to making the holes or making the quarter inch slots. Some of them like this one just come out really easy. Some of them like this one right here, like that one, barely want to come out. So I decided to make them just a regular size, and that's so they can slide in without any issue, up and down. And I'm gonna make a magnet. It's gonna have magnets so it can like just lock in and basically not fall off. Um, oh, there you go. See, some of them are loose, some of them are not. So that way they stay in place and you don't have to basically, worry about them just flying off anywhere. But it'll have magnets on all of them except for your sockets, because the sockets are they're a little bit harder to I should say put magnets in here, because the thickness of the walls is not super thick. Now here is thick because I had to make sure that these, whenever I close it and I go like that, I had to make sure that they don't come out of their spots, right? So you want to make sure that you have enough thickness or enough depth in here so the stuff doesn't just go flying. But another reason I didn't want to put magnets on this kind of stuff is because if you do, the box is going to be super heavy, and you don't want to have a huge heavy box and carrying, you want to make this box as light as possible and as strong as possible. But those are the few changes that I'm making before I release the actual product at Maker's World. Another thing that I wanted was with let me put this down, is with this. Let me do this camera real quick. With right here, I wanted to put a set of pliers. So I have a nice little set of I think they're not a rip-off of the Talon grips from Snap-on, but they're basically the same thing. They're from a company called Asahi. Or no, not Asahi, sorry. Let me pull them out. Sorry, it took me a while. I wanted to put these IPS pliers in here. And IPS is a very good company from here in Japan. And they make these are basically Talon grips, except with just a standard two position slip joint. But I mean, with this ones you don't really need much because they're small. So, but they're very compact, very nice, very strong, and they have the the Talon grip type of teeth in there, as you can see. But I wanted these right here. Put them right here. Right. Some people do the little Kinepex Cobras, the small ones. I wanted this ones. That's what I wanted. So that's why I left up here blank. Because if you look at this box from the side, you can see that there's let me clip it in there properly. You can see that's it still has some depth to it, right? So I can increase the amount, or do some stuff so I can put it in there. But that's why I left it blank, because I didn't want to I wanted to include those in there. But the box overall is a nice box. It has a strong hinge. A lot of the boxes that you print out, don't have that strong hinge, and that's a nice little locking latch. Pretty beefy. And like I was saying, the hinges are beefy, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want some, janky box, but yeah, this is the box, and once I finish it, I can put it up. I'm gonna put it up in Maker's World. But if you have any questions with this box, and if you want to see anything else that I made, just put it on the comments and let me know. But this is it. That's all I got for today, and I'll see you on the next one.